Tivoli Grand Resort for this very amazing event, IMA Delhi North Zone Annual Conference 2025. I have this very proud privilege to introduce Dr. Jyoti Chugh, who is the President of Delhi North Zone IMA. So first of all, Madam Jyoti, for the benefit of our viewers, we would like to know that since you have devoted close to 4 decades to the medical profession, and doctors are of course hailed as angels in white robes, and the medical profession is undoubtedly one of the noblest professions. So during the COVID outbreak, doctors played an incredible role. So foremost of all, what is the message that you would like to impart to the citizens, keeping in mind that since we had this outbreak of COVID, so how does one need to keep their immunity intact?
All the patients, or everybody, all of us, including us, the doctors as well as our public, should understand that health is going to be the most paramount thing. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a good health, the money is of no use. Money cannot buy health. So for that, a lifestyle modification and a regular exercise schedule, yoga regularly, and your diet restrictions have to be followed. Whether we like it or not, every second person has an ultrasound saying a fatty liver and all. And the stress levels have to go down. So to battle stress, a stress-free life, it is important that we all exercise and we maintain a healthy lifestyle. So that is the paramount. The less you will have to see us, the more you take care of your health.
Normally the saying goes that an apple a day keeps a doctor away. But then we of course need doctors, and we understand the due importance of our doctors. So now the second question that comes to mind instantly is that in today's scenario, when stress has become an inevitable component of day-to-day life, then how does one first of all keep stress at bay, and then how to avoid a sedentary lifestyle? Because whether it is a myth or it is an actual reality that one needs to, on a daily basis, do at least 10,000 steps. So please, some more light on this.
No, it is easier said than done. We keep telling everybody that less of screen time, more of walking and all. But if we finally see, each one of us is finally busy on the screen, and by the end of the day we are checking how much is our battery in this phone rather than we are seeing how many steps we have covered. So that is how the reality is, that we are looking at that instead of looking at how many steps you have covered. So important is start your day with an exercise, start your day with meditation, maybe yoga, and then slowly move on to an exercise schedule. Automatically a good breakfast, a light dinner, that would keep the ball rolling. We wouldn't need much of medical help if you were to follow this lifestyle. And do devote some time for yourself rather than wasting time on pleasing the whole world. Important.
Very well articulated, madam. So now, since we have a lady CM who is at the helm of the affairs, so it augurs well for Delhi, because there are humongous issues that need to be looked into, that need to be addressed. So now, you as the lady president of Delhi North Zone, so what are the core responsibilities that Delhi North Zone IMA is looking after?
No, we are at the moment at Delhi North Zone is trying to highlight the problems faced by the doctors in the North Zone. But it doesn't mean that it's only problems in the North Zone. It means problems all over Delhi. And we have made a list of full charter of problems that the doctor medical fraternity is having. And we have in fact a delegation has already met the Chief Minister.
So are you hinting at vandalism, the attacks on doctors?
The attacks on doctors, the house tax, the commercial water and electricity bills, and biomedical waste, which is very expensive. So the harassment to standalone clinics, all those are each and every factor is important for the survival of a small setup. So each of us who's having a standalone clinic or a small setup is facing a lot of harassment from the bureaucracy. So that is all the issues that we want the government to help us in sorting out.
Madam, to the best of my knowledge, the Delhi North Zone wing of IMA has been playing a very significant role.
Yes.
At one point, we had Dr. Naresh Chavla also leading from the front, and he's known to lead from the front and known to lead by an example. So now, since you are at the helm of the affairs, so what is the message that you would like to impart to the Delhi citizens?
Please trust your doctor. That is the simplest and the most important message. We never ever mean harm to any of you. And you have to trust us. There is no other way of trust. Even when we go as patients to another doctor, we just say, okay, fine. If you say this is the medicine for me, agreed, accepted and used. We don't sit and question, okay, what are the side effects? What is going to be this dose? What is the cost? Can I get a cheaper one? We don't sit and doubt the person who is treating. So have trust. They are here only. They have done so many years of work and they are here to improve your health. So trust them, and that is the only message I would request all my patients at least.
So one last question, madam. So there is this talk that Delhi is on the threshold, or the country is on the threshold of becoming the next diabetes capital of the world. How far that is true, and if at all it is true, it has got some element, what needs to be done on a war footing note?
We had very simple Indian food. An Indian thali contained almost everything to keep your body quite fit. But now we have all these junk foods. The Western world has introduced our pizzas, burgers, sandwiches, the bakery items. So that is ruining our health. And the earlier we realize and accepted that it is go back to our original thali, we will be doing much better. Our thali contained probiotics, prebiotics, everything was there in that one thali. And we somehow have moved away from it thinking it was too elaborate, and one packed sandwich was much better, and that is where we are erring very badly. So go back to your Indian diet, it will do much better.
So viewers, this was Dr. Jyoti Chugh, and the key takeaway from this very brief interaction with her today at this annual conference of IMA Delhi North Zone is that one must trust their doctors, and I think that says it all.
Yes.
It means the world, and of course doctors one must trust, and medicine was and will always remain the noblest of all professions. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'm about to start my interaction with Dr. Naresh Chavla, a doctor who actually needs no introduction, but nevertheless, it's pertinent on my part to introduce him as one of the finest socio-medical activists of the country. Number one, he is the present Vice President of the Delhi Medical Council, the past President of DMA, IMA North Zone. And of course, during the COVID outbreak, Dr. Naresh Chavla played a remarkable role, because he was there on ground zero and left no stone unturned in ensuring that all those who knocked his door, who came to him in moments of pain, mayhem, uncertainty, so he was there to address their problems. So Dr. Naresh Chavla, you delivered this very fine lecture, the role of family physicians in cancer prevention. The movement, and this is the word which is really dreaded. So foremost of all, kindly share for the benefit of the viewers, what was the focus of your lecture today on cancer prevention?
Thank you, Vipin Sharma ji. Let me tell you, I am uniquely committed to one fact. A person, any patient, whether in a rural setting or an urban setting, always goes to his family physician first. So, all the deepest knowledge about the family of the patient, his past history, his current history, his previous illnesses in his family, any history of cancer in the family is known to the family doctor only. So that is where the role of a family doctor or a family physician is very preeminent. How do I justify it? A family physician knows this patient's aunt or uncle suffered from this cancer and he may be having this cancer or whatever. Depending on the various symptomatology, believe me, what matters is that he diagnoses it early. We see a smoker and we see he's coughing, so we can pretty well suspect he could become a patient of any cancer of throat or lung or anywhere. So what is important is in cancer prevention, the biggest thing is improving one's habits, number one. Number two, the early diagnosis. In India, don't forget, most cases land up before the tertiary care center with advanced stage cancer when nothing much can be done. I think the role of a family physician is very preeminent in informing the Mr. Patient, you are having these symptoms. If you kind of reverse this thing, if you are a tobacco taker, you are a tobacco chewer, you are a cigarette smoker, you are a beadi smoker, if you have all this, if you stop it, it will be good. If you have some bad bowel habits which you are not bothering about, you are saying you are having constipation every day, this could be a very small symptom, but it could be a symptom of a colon carcinoma. You are having bladder symptoms, you could be having some changed habits, you are having some loss of weight, loss of appetite, which could be very non-specific symptoms. But if these symptoms are caught in the beginning, I'm sure early diagnosis and early referral to a oncologist and a tertiary care center can do wonders.
Very well articulated, Dr. Chawla.
A doctor can do
Is it the careless approach
Yes.
of all of us?
Of all of us. I know of lots of patients in India who, after even getting diagnosed, due to their cultural beliefs and taboos, go astray. They go to a quack. They go to a traditional healer. I think this is where the role of a family physician comes, who can impress upon the patient, Mr. Patient, आप इसलिए झूठे वहम में मत जाइएगा, झूठी आशाओं में मत जाइएगा, traditional healing मत जाइएगा, go to a proper center and get the proper treatment. In India, we have corporate hospitals also, we have state-of-the-art government hospitals also, where we can get free treatment. The only byword in the cancer prevention or cancer treatment is early diagnosis, proper referral to a proper center, and patient taking the full treatment. I can tell you lots of cancers, including breast cancer, they are so easily treated. It's hardly a cancer, it's an ordinary disease now. But the byword is early diagnosis, prompt referral, and complete treatment. If the message is very clear to the ordinary public that they must take proper treatment and complete treatment.
So, sir, you spoke about abnormality in urine. I mean, when a person is urinating. So, what is that you are indicating?
Good for asking this question. Most symptoms of cancer, any cancer, let me tell you, cancer is not of the full body. Cancer is from one organ. It could be cancer of throat, it could be cancer of nose, it could be cancer of bone, it could be cancer of breast, it could be cancer of urinary bladder, it could be cancer of cervix in females, so and so on. So the symptoms which present are usually non-specific. If a patient says, "Doctor साहब मुझे भूख नहीं लगती, मुझे मेरा वजन घटता जा रहा है," it is the onerous duty of the family physician to investigate whether it could be some other disease or it could be some cancer. If I see my patient is a tobacco taker, so I'll quickly suspect cancer. You're asking any urinary symptoms.
Frequent urination. Suppose.
Urination cannot be a symptom. These are non-specific symptoms. So carcinoma prostate is very common in males, but all patients who think they are passing frequent urination need not fear it. The doctor, a proper test, which is a PSA, can easily diagnose it. Proper ultrasound and a biopsy, he can rule out any cancer. So all general symptom patients need not fear that they are having cancer. The cancer, a family physician will first suspect it by a high degree of suspicion, then he'll get it investigated, then he'll refer to a medical oncologist who will get it proper diagnosed, and then either that diagnosis will be confirmed and proper treatment run, or he'll be declared cancer.
A very pertinent question that comes to mind, since you laid immense emphasis on early screening, early diagnosis. So what needs to be done in order to create a large-scale awareness amongst the citizens of the country that they need to go in for early diagnosis?
Very important question. Public awareness is a must. Don't forget, India is a huge country of 140 crore people, which has a very vibrant and rich middle class also, and we have still below the poverty line people also. So, but I already said the government infrastructure is not that bad. You only have to be aware of it and seek help early. Expecting that government will spend money for mammography of all the females in India is not possible. But with the better awareness of people seeking more opportunities and coming to the better centers, I am sure our future may be bright. But the my word is again, the doctor who is your closest doctor, who is your family doctor, who is your family physician, must have high degree of suspicion, and you must trust your doctor rather than trusting a quack or a traditional healer.
Very well said, Dr. Chawla. So last two questions. So what is the role that you think that the media should play in order to help doctors reduce the number of cancer cases in the country?
Very, very important. Fourth estate or media is playing every big role, whether it is positive or negative. So awareness is one role which can easily be done. When a child sees, a toddler sees, a teenager sees an ad of taking a junk food, he follows that. In the same way, if the media does a positive, constructive role of awareness, that can work wonders. So I think beyond the show time, one has to go, the media has to go beyond a social message and a social role, which I believe media should positively do.
Last one. So what are the expectations from the ruling dispensation, the government of the day? You know, because Dr. Jyoti Chugh was emphasizing on the fact that, first of all, people should have complete trust on doctors, which is of course sacrosanct. That goes without saying. And secondly, the frequent attack on doctors, the vandalism. So what are the expectations from the government of the day?
Very important question. Bipin Sharma, I must tell you one thing. First thing, the government spending, the GDP spending on health must go high. Somehow due to many reasons, the spending on education and health is abysmally low. And ever since our independence, it is hovering around hardly 1%. So we must see this spending must go higher. The richer countries, including the advanced Western countries, including nations of Europe and America, they are spending up to 10 to 15%. If we do not have funds, how will we spend the money on? Second part, which is very, very painful to us, that the media must carry a positive image in their effort to sensationalize the whole thing. Just carrying the negative news is not good. The positive role, don't we all know that the Indian doctors are the most economical, most skillful, perhaps the best on earth. They must cost much about this, and don't forget the role of a doctor. Playing his life is not that easy, and the media should do the positive role, telling the people who attack their doctors for many of the negative outcomes of the cases, which is not good at all. It dissuades the doctor, it dissuades even a person to become a doctor, if at all. So I think media can do a very important role in telling the society about the positive role of a doctor.
So summing up what Dr. Naresh Chawla has just shared for the benefit of our viewers, the two key takeaways. One, of course, that the country needs top-class health infrastructure, that awareness needs to come in at a mass level. And secondly, of course, a good educational policy, because these are the two key driving forces that can truly transform our great country into a superpower. And we talk about nation building. So, Dr. Chawla, it was indeed a privilege interacting with you. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors. Thank you. Dr. Jagdeep Chugh, an eminent healthcare stalwart of the country. He has been the past president of DNZ, and of course he's carved a niche for himself. dedicated more than 4 decades to the medical profession and has played an incredible role during the COVID outbreak, eminent dermatologist, and more importantly, he is an expert in organizing conferences, symposiums, seminars, and we all understand for a fact that they are all of paramount significance, because if the newer technologies have to be introduced and the message needs to be propagated on a mass level, then we need such conferences. So Dr. Chuk, first of all, like they say, straight from the horse's mouth. So what do you have to say as far as the concept of organizing seminars, summits like this?
So it is not just a conference. It is basically a social, medical, and a get-together of the doctors. And the most important is we share our knowledge. We take the knowledge from the experts. We give it the knowledge to the persons who are not the part of this. Generally we invite the doctors from big hospitals who have specialized, who are doing very skillful. They have brought the technology from outside, and they are very good in that. See, a person who is sitting in a small clinic or in a small lane in Delhi may not be having access to that. So the thing is, the patient come, at least at times they may not be able to read that much or get the knowledge. From there they get the knowledge. And at the same time they know what is to be done in all the other patients also. Yes, we can refer this patient to that, we can get this surgery done, we can have this opinion. So there are so many things. Medical science is expanding like anything. आज मैं कुछ पढ़ता हूँ, tomorrow it is something different. It is changing, it is expanding, and you can't
ever evolving.
So to update the knowledge, you have to have this type of seminars and conferences. That is very important. It is important for the doctors which are at the lower level, at the peripheral level, and it is also important for the doctors who are in the corporate. They at least they share their view. They tell what I am doing and what should be done. That is important.
So Dr. Chuk, taking inspiration from what you have just said, pearls of wisdom. So now, since there is this big talk of India having already become the medical tourism destination of the world, one thing. Second thing is, how can we bring in more global scale medical conferences, seminars, symposiums, events to India?
See, Indian doctors are par excellent. They are dedicated. They can work in hospital for 3 to 4 days without stop. They have the brain, they have the speed, they have everything. And the doctors who are abroad, they just see 4 patients per day. And in our hospitals, the doctors who is sitting in a government hospital sees 100 patients with the speed in 1 hour. So you can think how much patients, how much experience they are having. So they are good, they are very good. And when it comes to the medical tourism, many patients, many countries have coming, many patients from other countries are coming to India. But we can increase it further by easing the laws, by giving them more, increasing the infrastructure, by making them comfortable, making them friendly, making them India friendly. Problems come when the patient gets down at the airport and he is harassed, or he is harassed by XYZ anywhere, so they lose faith in this. But in the hospital, we have the expert doctors who are dealing with all type of patients, all complicated operations, all type of surgeries, all advanced surgeries, robotic surgeries, and everything. We are very good in robotic surgeries. We are very good in chemotherapies, and most important things, we are cheap. We are cheap. We are charging money in rupees, and in other countries they are spending or earning in dollars. So we can expand it. There is a huge gap. We can expand it, but we'll have to make a strategy for that. Government has to make a strategy for that.
So one aspect is boost to the foreign exchange.
Yeah.
You know, when medical tourism increases.
Yes.
That is one aspect. The second critical aspect, again coming back to my question, you see, if for the objective of statistics, so compared to the last 10 years, how has the number of medical events increased compared to what they were 10 years ago?
You are saying medical this
Conferences, doctors' conferences.
they have increased tremendously. There used to be 1 or 2 conferences. Now we have conferences every month, every maybe twice a month also. And when it comes to
But
the
global
bigger,
representation is there?
yes, they are representatives. They are the doctors. We invite them. All the foreign abroad doctors from the abroad would take their knowledge, and we give them knowledge also. This is not the thing is we are getting it. We are giving them also that we can also do this. We can do it better than you. And moreover, we are having so many conferences that say in conferences of say API, there is attendance of almost 8 to 10,000 doctors, which is like a city. It is like a Kumbh Mela
Mega
for
town.
us.
Mega
Yeah,
town.
it is Kumbh Mela where 8 से 10,000 लोग doctors आ रहे हैं. They are giving their knowledge. They are taking the
So
knowledge.
that's a 3-day affair?
That is almost 5 days.
Right there. Very nice. So, Dr. Chuk, one last question and very relevant one. So, since you have taken this concept of organizing medical conferences to an altogether next level, what are the expectations from the government that you see?
No, they should try to ease the rules. Actually, problem in India is there is a lot of red tapeism. You can't invite their visa problems, XYZ problems. When we call the surgeons from somewhere else to demonstrate their surgeries, the problem is we have to take so many clearances. And for all conferences, we need funds. Okay? If you want to organize a conference in some good location, you have to have a good MBS also. You have to arrange for the guests also, for the lectures also, for everything. You need money also, you need clearances also. You need so many things. For if these things are relaxed, then I think more patient doctors will participate and more the foreign dignitaries will come, and they will get also this. They will come to know what we are doing. They are not aware what we are doing. And moreover, along with this is not only conferences, not educational, it is social. We interact, we doctors interact. मैं अपने पड़ोस के डॉक्टर को वहाँ नहीं मिलता, कम से कम मैं यहाँ मिल लेता हूँ. We interact. It is basically at times it is a relaxation for us. We share so many things in common. It is a bonding basically. We bond here rather. That is very important.
Very well articulated, Dr. Chok.